From bargain bin robot cops and shameless fake sequels to over-the-top international oddities that twist the killer cyborg formula in ways you would never expect, each film on this ranking proves you do not need James Cameron's budget to leave a mark. Let's kick off the countdown with our number 7 entry, the ultimate in low-budget American cyborg cheese. Number 7, ROTOR from 1987. Straight out of Texas, ROTOR is the definition of bargain bin cyborg action, an American answer to the Terminator made with a budget that's rumored to hit $2.7 million, though nobody's ever produced a real receipt. Shot in Dallas and pushed straight to VHS, it's packed with cardboard robots, mulleted cops, and dialogue that sounds like it was written during a lunch break. Fan lore claims 45,000 tapes shipped out, and in some corners of the South, it supposedly topped rental charts in 1989. Again, the numbers are as fuzzy as the effects. What's not in doubt is its cult status. Late-night cable reruns, endless YouTube roasts, and a reputation for unintentional comedy that's never faded. ROTOR sets the bar for low-budget knockoffs. Cheap, clunky, and somehow still a blast. Number 6. Shocking Dark, 1990. Italy's answer to the Terminator didn't just copy the formula, it hijacked the name. Shot in Rome, this sci-fi knockoff was shipped overseas as Terminator 2, plastered on posters across the Philippines and Europe years before Cameron's real sequel hit theaters. The film's plot is a Frankenstein patchwork of cyborg chases and gooey mutant attacks, but the real spectacle is the marketing ploy. Foreign buyers snapped up rights based on nothing but a title and a VHS cover, driving pre-sales to 6 times its tiny €400,000 budget. There was never any official license, just a bold gamble that copyright lawyers wouldn't notice or couldn't catch up. Shocking Dark's legacy isn't craft, it's the sheer nerve of selling a fake sequel to the world and getting away with it. Number 5. Hands of Steel, 1986. Only in the wild world of Italian knockoffs could a cyborg assassin wind up in the middle of a desert arm wrestling tournament. Directed by Sergio Martino, this movie throws out any pretense of subtlety and dives headfirst into Euro sleaze action. The plot? A half-metal hitman is sent to kill an eco-scientist, but after a crisis of conscience, he hides out in a grimy Arizona bar, where, naturally, arm wrestling is king. Daniel Green, who did nearly all his own stunts, sweats through neon-lit brawls and synth-heavy chases, while a parade of muscle-bound locals line up to take him down. Shot in the US and Mexico borderlands on a shoestring budget, just over €1 million, the film recouped costs through European TV deals and late-night festival runs. Hands of Steel isn't just a Terminator ripoff, it's a fever dream where cyborgs and sports movies collide, and somehow it works. Number 4. Cyborg Cop, 1993. If you ever wondered what the Terminator might look like after a week in the Caribbean sun, this is your answer. Cyborg Cop doesn't waste time on subtlety. Right from the jump, it's all about machine gun mayhem, mad scientists, and a villain's lair straight out of a pulp comic. The story: an ex-cop is lured to a tropical island where a rogue scientist is cranking out cyborg soldiers for sale to the highest bidder. The plot's pure B-movie boilerplate, but the action never lets up. Explosions, car chases, and enough squib hits to stock a small armory. Shot on location in the Caribbean, the film manages to squeeze out some big set pieces on a modest budget, with helicopter stunts and pyrotechnics that outshine most of its direct-to-video peers. 2 sequels followed, cementing its spot as a cable TV staple through the mid-90s. Cyborg Cop isn't original, but when it comes to pure popcorn thrills, it punches well above its weight. Coming to the top 3, Nemesis, 1992, proves that ambition can outlast budget in the world of Terminator knockoffs. Directed by Albert Pyun, this film trades in the sun-blasted streets of dystopian Los Angeles for a world where cyborg cops and human rebels wage war with more style than sense. With just $2 million to spend, Pyun loaded up on gun fu, prosthetic makeup, and a relentless pace. crafting shootouts that feel like a fever dream of John Woo and Blade Runner mashed together. The effects may be scrappy, but the vision is clear. Nemesis isn't content to just mimic Cameron. It builds its own grimy universe, and fans noticed. The movie didn't just fade into late-night oblivion. It spawned 4 sequels, each one crowdfunded or championed by a loyal cult following. Conventions still host panels for the franchise, and on Ranker's Cult Cinema poll, Nemesis scores an 87% positive rating, a number most B-movie ripoffs can only dream of. In a field crowded with disposable clones, Nemesis stands out by turning its limitations into a badge of honor, proving that a true cult classic doesn't need Hollywood money, just guts, grit, and a killer cyborg or two. In second place, Gunhead, 1989, rolls out as Japan's full-throttle nuts and bolts answer to The Terminator, a film where Toho Studios literally built the competition. Forget rubber suits and CGI stand-ins. Gunhead's production team, led by mecha legends Shoji Kawamori and Kunio Okawara, engineered a life-sized, steel-plated robot rig that could trundle, pivot, and tower over modular sets built like a post-apocalyptic Lego city. The budget landed somewhere between $3 and $4 million, an eye-watering sum for late 80s Japanese sci-fi, and every yen is on screen. Hydraulic limbs, pneumatic miniatures, and enough pyrotechnics to trigger a fire department memo. The Aerobot enemy, designed by Toshio Miike's crew, was so massive and unpredictable that operators called it a monster behind the scenes. Plans to polish the film at Skywalker Ranch fell through, so Toho's effects wizards finished the job in-house, improvising with motion control rigs and suitmation hybrids that would shape the next wave of tokusatsu filmmaking. Gunhead didn't conquer the box office, but it conquered the cult market. US and Japanese fans swapped battered tapes for decades, and the 2022 4K remaster sold out 18,000 units in Japan alone. For anyone who thinks practical effects peaked with Cameron, Gunhead is a masterclass in analog spectacle, industrial, inventive, and still standing tall in the Mecha Hall of Fame. And finally, in first place, Lady Terminator, 1989, explodes onto the screen with a wildness that no other ripoff even attempts. Forget killer cyborgs from the future. This time, it's an anthropologist possessed by a vengeful sea goddess, turning the Terminator formula on its head, and then some. Director H. Chut Jalil didn't just gender flip the relentless assassin. He fused Indonesian folklore, erotic horror, and machine gun mayhem into a spectacle that's equal parts fever dream and B-movie gold. The inspiration? The Queen of the South Sea, a mythic seductress who destroys men with supernatural power. In Lady Terminator, she returns as a bulletproof femme fatale, mowing down nightclub dancers and police squads with dead-eyed precision, and a wardrobe straight out of a glam metal video. The production was a war zone. Barbara Ann Constable, a British model with 0 firearms training, was thrown into 16-hour days, fake glass doors that didn't break, and squib burns from malfunctioning pyrotechnics. During one infamous scene, she fell through a collapsing well set and nearly drowned, only to be patched up and thrown back into the chaos. But the real shock came after filming wrapped. Producers added an explicit eel penetration gag using a prosthetic and a body double, without Constable's knowledge or consent. She's since called the experience both traumatic and unforgettable, fueling the film's reputation as a cautionary tale of exploitation-era filmmaking. Indonesian censors tried to bury Lady Terminator, slapping it with cuts and partial bans, but the damage was done. Export sales took off. For a $150,000 investment, the film became a cult sensation on the midnight circuit, with Mondo Macabro's Blu-ray alone moving 25,000 units worldwide. US genre fans turned eel trauma into a meme. Conventions still screen it to packed rooms, and YouTube reviewers call it the wildest first watch you'll ever have. Lady Terminator doesn't just copy the Terminator, it weaponizes gender, local legend, and sheer audacity, earning its spot as the most unforgettable ripoff of them all. From the cardboard chaos of ROTOR to the mythic insanity of Lady Terminator, this countdown proves that Terminator ripoffs are far more than cheap imitations. Across all 7 entries, we saw a pattern. the wildest and most entertaining films often came from outside Hollywood, with countries like Italy, Japan, and Indonesia pushing the formula into bizarre, unforgettable territory. What made these movies worth watching wasn't just shameless copying, but the way each one twisted the killer cyborg blueprint. Whether it was Gunhead's technical wizardry, Nemesis's cult world building, or Lady Terminator's gender-flipped folklore, the ranking weighed craft, originality, entertainment, and lasting cult appeal. And it's clear that the films topping the list did more than mimic a classic. They carved out their own legacy in genre history. In the world of Terminator ripoffs, the best surprises come when filmmakers break the rules, not just follow them. That's what truly sets these cult favorites apart.